My next policy enforcement officer encounter. I'm going to try to be kind to him and explain to him that I'm a different class of human being. I don't fall under the U.S. citizenship. I am a non-belligerent American civilian, and it's a different class of human being than a U.S. citizen, and he better call in and get a little backup and start verifying some facts, because if he trespasses against me, a knowing person, on the reality of the realm of truth of court, then he's going to be dealing with me in the common law court, because that's where I roll under the common law jurisdiction of the United States as a non-belligerent American civilian. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I don't fall under corporate policy, and you better call in your supervisors and you better look into it, because if you don't, every one of you are going to be in trouble. And if they insist on arresting me and taking me into custody or whatever, I'm just, when I go into court, I'm not going to do anything that will incriminate me, because I'm not going to, further than that with the police, I'm not going to offer them any more information. They'll have to arrest me or let me go. And if I'm on my way, I'm on my way. If I'm going to jail, I'm going to jail, and they're going to take me in front of a judge. And when I get in front of the judge, I'm going to demand to see the verified criminal complaint, which is a signed complaint against me as a civilian. And he's not going to have one, and the prosecutor's going to say he'll sign one, and I'm going to explain to the prosecutor he's nothing but a third party to the events that have brought me to this establishment. And if it goes, it'll go on, I'm sure. They're going to be trying to play their game. I'm going to research back into this SDKV, because there's some pertinent facts to that, and your birth certificate playing into the role of the courts. But anyway, he's going to persist, the judge is going to persist on, and when he does that and tells me that I need to enter a plea, I'm going to laugh at him and tell him that only animals plead. I'm a human being and I don't plead. And then he's going to kind of tell me, well, then I'm going to enter a plea for you, not guilty. And when he does that, I'm going to jump into, hey, what about my rights? Don't I have a right to an attorney? You know, this is America. What have we devolved into? Anyway, he's going to say, yeah, you got a right to your attorney. And I'm going to say, well, I don't remember ever paying you a retainer and having you as my attorney. And he's going to deny that I had, because it would be a conflict of his interest. As soon as he does that, I'm going to tell him, thank you for your legal determination of not guilty. Now open these goddamn doors and let me out of here. It might get ugly in court, because I have a tendency to run my mouth, and I might even get on to how am I supposed to, you know, it goes deep with me. I'm not intimidated by the law. I'm not intimidated by anybody. I will tell it how it is regardless, and that's what the people need, is someone who is not afraid of confrontation, especially with the legal system the way it is. But anyway, I'm not looking forward to it, because I don't like to deal with these goons. You don't know when they pull you over, you might end up dead. Like DJ there, he says it's 849 or something is the body count this year since January 1st. So, man might get killed just by being defiant towards the government by these policy enforcement people. It's hard to say. I'm definitely going to get me a camera to start carrying around with me at all times when I am traveling to and from work so I can support these U.S. citizens that are too lazy to go get a job and support themselves. Use a tax fraud, you know. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in a little video here on what I'm going to do next time I get pulled over by a policy enforcement officer, see how that plays out. See if I can calmly bring him into the realm that he's a human being too, down on my level, that we are both different. We're not in the corporate level. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm going to give her a whirl. I've been practicing that in my head for a while, because I do travel all the time, and every time that I've traveled, I try not to. The last 2 times, in fact, that I've gotten driving citations, I've been walking and on foot and with no vehicle anywhere around. But anyway, so they watch me, they know that I do travel, and they know who I am, so I have that probability that I'm going to be brought under the accusations of driving again. Driving is really not traveling unless you're a total slave. If you believe in asking government for everything, then that's your prerogative. But me, myself, I'm accountable for myself, and I prefer to make decisions that are in my best interest and the interest of the people who are around me, so that society continues to produce and flourish. You know, things are going to get a lot different here, because shit's going to fucking go crazy. I don't know, folks. I'm just babbling on now. I just wanted to say that that's how I'm going to approach my next encounter with policy enforcement officers. I'm going to really steer them down into the human realm rather than their corporate position, and see if that don't work a little different for them. You know, because they're tough when you got 6 of them all standing up there with their guns drawn. Well, I was always taught myself that you don't point a gun at anything you don't intend to kill. So by that right alone, them police officers are intending to kill you. See? That's their intention. And the body count's proving it. And we're letting them do it by not holding them accountable for their actions. And holding these prosecutors and attorney generals in these different states, letting them ride skate free for protecting their protectors, people. But they are our protectors, and no one's protecting us. We need to protect each other. And we do it in the lower courts, just like I've been explaining. We're all part of the jury. When you're pooled for the jury, and you will be, just remember that that's just a fellow human being that this corporate government is trying to extort money from and continue their expansion, their growth, while diminishing the livelihood of this fellow human being. And if you continue to find these people who are on the defense stand for victimless crimes, if you continue to find them guilty for legislated bullshit, victimless crimes, then you are participating in the completion of the downfall of the society that we know today. I don't know how to tell you people. I don't know why it's so hard to see that the lower courts are where we repeal the bullshit legislated lies of crime. and crime only consists of an injury. Courts were instituted to prevent revenge. Our system of government, our system of court was altered a little bit from the beginning of what courts were, because that's what courts were prevention of revenge in the king's times and stuff. But we evolved them a little bit to establish a buffer zone to protect the citizens from overzealous government, and we can repeal unwarranted laws that government tries to impose upon the will of the people without their consent. And by implied consent and everybody just keeping their mouth shut and allowing the legislators to pass any law that they want, and then after the laws are passed, these policy enforcement officers hand out all these revenue-generating citations. And what do the people do? They just go and flood the courts and hand over their money. Everybody does it. There's no victim, there's no crime, people, and you need to quit doing it. Wouldn't it be great if everybody at one time just decided to go in front of the judge and just shut up, fold your arms, and stand there and look at him like he's a stupid fucking idiot that he is? Trying to render judgment on a fellow human being, another mere mortal, imposing judgment on me? Are you fucking kidding me? What's the matter with you people? It's like having the Supreme Court. You don't need a bunch of fucking idiot black fucking gown wearing faggots telling me what to do, what my rights are. My rights are unlimited. Limited only by myself and the rights of other people and the liberties of other people. That's where my limitations are, and that's where yours are too. Society will continue to... It'll continue. It's going to be different. You ain't going to be calling the cops. They're going to be protecting their own self, their own interests. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen. It's if, it's not when. See, and we all see it. But in the meantime, while we're existing in it, we should do our duty and perform our civil disobedience towards this tyrannical government who's imposing tyranny and oppression on not only us, but people around this globe, plane, planet, whatever the fucking lie you believe. Yeah, everything you believe is a lie too, unless you have actually experimented, and bottomed out to a conclusion the reality of it. We're all illusionists, and we're all liars. And you will lie, just like I will lie, to make your story just a little better. There's some things that are just sound too phenomenal to even be real. But yet again, they're so real that you couldn't make the stuff up. And them are the things that you really have to investigate to bottom out at the truth. But in this once great United States, everything is a deception. Everything's a lie. Man don't know what to believe. Man don't know who to believe. That includes the women too, of course. But yeah. And where we're going from here is as humanity evolves out of the grasp of government control, out of the use of the fiat currency, where people become gatherers again, because you're going to have to when the grid goes down. You're not going to go to Walmart and buy your things. It's not going to be there. Walmart, Safeway, Albertsons, Fred Meyer, Target, all that shit's going to be gone. People aren't going to be dealing with that. People are going to be dealing with surviving, real survival. And that's why everything is being played out the way it is, so that when they decide to change the currency, which is what they're going to attempt to do, they're going to, you turn off that Obama buck card, and we're going to have 100 million people who are just starving and can't buy food, and they're going to be zombie-like. Maybe that's why they were having the zombie practice drills with the military, you know. I don't know if you've seen them, but I've seen videos where they do that. Like I said, I get around and I pick up a lot of information. I'm a storehouse of information, of just dumb little things that I've ran across and done the research on over my in-depth look into other things, because that's the exact reason I don't tell you guys where I get my information from, because if I did that, then you would just go right there and just overlook a whole bunch of other things if rather you have a question on something I say and want to prove me wrong. You'll have to dig deeper on your own and come back and say, hey, you're a dumb motherfucker, Miner. You know, you're misleading humanity. And you won't be able to do that because I only tell it the way it is. And my reality is not your reality, but my reality is the way I see it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I just say it the way it is. And if you don't like it, then that's your stupidity. I'm not here to be liked by anybody. I'm just here to try to help straighten out humanity on a epic proportion. People, we just need to quit participating in their game. Stop paying your taxes. Stop paying your court fines. Go in there and demand a jury trial. And when the people are put on or pulled to be on the jury, remember, if there's no victim, there's no crime. And just refuse to participate in their racketeering game that you're all lied to and put under the illusion that you participate in through their democracy. That's a big joke in itself. Why do I want the mob to rule? That's what a democracy is. Look into that. The Constitution. It's signed in there of witness. Look into that. Anyway, I don't need a constitution, and you don't need a constitution. The constitution's in your heart and in your head. And it's in your ass. If you know something you did wrong, you're going to get your ass kicked, and you're going to find it there. And if you've done something done right, you're going to feel good inside. And so, it all rolls around that society will continue with or without government. And with what we see government doing, destroying and killing millions of people across the plane or around the globe, however you interpret the lie, myself, I look out and I do my own investigation, and as I've told you, I believe it may not be flat, but it is definitely not some globe. That's why I think they just put a T on the end of plane and made it planet, or a E on the end of glob and made it globe. It's fucking Who cares? You know, all the reality is you're going to get up tomorrow. Time doesn't stop. It continues to flow. Tomorrow's an extension of yesterday and today. Yesterday was today. Now was then, or then is now. It's that's deep in its own. Anyway, I don't know why I keep doing these dumb videos. I just hope that the right person will see the start of one of these and decide that it would be okay to investigate and start pushing the agenda for humanity that would stop the tyranny and oppression created by government. People, the only reason government exists is because we allow it. They are there by our consent. They do not control us. We control the government. I can't emphasize this enough. I can't tell you enough. You have to stand up and become accountable as everybody else does. And until everyone achieves accountability or is held accountable regardless if they want it or not for their actions, then shit ain't going to get any better. In fact, I don't foresee being able to stop what's going to happen from happening. It's inevitable. And it's all I can tell you, people, is we need to make the best of it in the meantime. There's no stopping these psychopaths who are in a complete demonic state of translucent visionary thoughts of controlling the entire world and everything in it, including you and me. But not on my watch. Like I said, I don't bow down and I don't cower down. I stand firm on my 2 feet and I take credit for what I do and I deny credit for what I don't do. And that's a big thing right there. Is I know people who go out and brag about saying, hey, I did this, when I know damn good and well this other guy did it. You know, it's really an idea is on making the work easier and shit when you're working out there, and one guy comes up with an idea to make something simpler and this guy claims he did it, but you already know this guy did it because he said something about it before the other guy even did. Anyway, that's different. But oh, people, please wake up. Please come together and unite and stop the insanity. There's not anything one of us can do alone. We can only do it by uniting. But the one thing that we can do alone to start the turnaround is to start holding ourselves accountable. So remember, when you're pulled for the jury, you're accountable for that defendant brought before the courts to be extorted. There's no victim, there's no crime. That judge has no power over you. He can't tell you how to make a decision, how you're going to render your decision. Regardless of what he says, follow your heart, follow your mind, follow the truth, the reality, the justice. The man did nothing wrong. He's not guilty of anything. Let him go. He might be the jury next time when you're up there. Probably not, but what comes around goes around, people. I'm your protector. You're my protector. We're human beings, every one of us. No one's better than anybody else out there. That's for goddamn sure. There might be some that are better liars. some that are better thinkers on some things and not so great as thinkers on others. Some that have common sense and some that have no sense at all. But still, we're all human beings. And this wonderful planet, plane, globe we call Earth is ours. And it's what supports us. It's what should be important to us. Not keeping this corporate government greed alive. The only thing they seem to be able to do is kill millions of people through genocides and attempted control of people. It's deep. Check into the Agenda 21. I don't even want to get into the conspiracy things. It's deep. It's the eugenics. It's deep. Bushes, the Clintons. It's deep, people. It goes deeper and deeper. Kennedy's. I don't even want to go how deep. Some people call it the rabbit hole. I call it digging a hole in the sand. Because no matter how far down you go, the sides pile down. They eventually fall in. And while you're digging down and you see something off to the side that catches your eye and interest, and you start digging over there, pretty soon it starts flooding in over there. And you never really get to the bottom of the bottom. But you can get enough of the picture to know the truth of it. Now, I don't need math. I don't need a Bible to tell me what's right and to tell me what's wrong. I know in my heart, I know in my head. So do all of you. It comes right down to it. And if you really think that you can get on your hands and knees and beg for forgiveness, beg some other entity for forgiveness for something you've done, it ain't going to happen. You're accountable in this life and throughout your only life. You only have one life, and you move on. And your body's no longer needed. You move on. And yeah, your life follows you wherever you go. Wherever you come from, your past, you can't hide from it. It's back there. Your future you can control by what you do in the present. And if you do what's right, generally good things come to you. And when you start doing evil, bad things happen, and you become uglier looking all around. Your personality, everything, it's all in love and hate. Everything boils down to love and hate. I'll tell you what, the bottom line is accountability. So, that said, Brian Miner saying peace out, people, and we'll see you on the next go around. Have a good day.